Beautiful.
As many forts you have visited till now, those all forts, especially in Pakistan, those all forts are actually royal palaces. You can see the lifestyle and life standard of that royal family who lived at that time. But you can't see anything about the lifestyle and life standard of ordinary people who lived, how they lived at that time. So this is a small village. So here you can see this is not any royal palace. This is a residential area of ordinary people. So you will see over here the lifestyle and life standard of those people who lived about 1,000 years ago in this region. How was their life? What kind of problems they had? What kind of challenges they had? And how they tried to overcome these problems. You will see this thing over here.
Thank you.
So before partition of India and Pakistan, this Gilgit-Baltistan region was divided into small independent states. These states used to quarrel all the time among each other. In such a time it was not safe to make houses openly like now. So that is why they decided to live inside a fortified village. So they select this place because its backside was river. There was cliff on 90 degrees like a standing wall, and it was impossible for anybody to enter from the backside. It was naturally safe, and on the front side they made high compound wall. So with high compound wall they made 14 watchtowers as well. These watchtowers were used as bunkers. So they could watch their enemies when they were reaching in the effective range of their arrows, then they could shoot arrows on their enemies. So this water tank was also their defense strategy. So they thought we shall make safe ourselves through this high compound wall in case if we shall be surrounded by any invading troops, then what shall we do for water? So that is why they used mud and stones from the same place for construction of their houses. When they did a lot of construction inside, it automatically became a big water pond. So then they made wall around it and they fixed a wooden pipe of juniper tree from this water tank to middle of the village. In case of such any emergency, if these people would become surrounded by invading troops, instead of opening this gate, going out and facing different problems, they could open that wooden pipe and they could get water safely. And no any enemy could imagine that there is a way for water from this water tank to the village. So that is why they had made water storage for their emergency times only. So while normally they used water from the well, here they used to make a well, so they used water from that well. It was only for emergency time. Now in the summer season, our children, when they return back from school, they used to swim all the time in this tank. And during the winter season, when water gets freeze, then they do skating.
Oh, yeah. So you see, can use it both seasons.
Yeah. Both season, it is a good fun for our children. So the fourth is, so behind that ladder there is a short door. So that was Caravanserai. And in this corner here was horses stable. They used to tie their horses in this corner. So when guests arrive over here, they used to stay in that room. Because these people had made a separate room for guests outside of the gate. Because guests should not enter inside. Because they were scared of their secrecies, you know.
I see,
privacy should not be leaked out, and our enemies should not be aware about weaknesses.
Oh, I see.
So that is why they had made separate residence for guests. So at that time there was a good thing over here. Lodging and boarding, food and roof, both of them were free of cost. When guests arrive over here, so these villagers, whatever they used to cook at their home to eat with their children, same food they used to offer to their guests as well. So to charge anything from the guests, it was considered very shame. So how mean that person is that he is charging for money for food or room. So at that time for travelers this thing was very good, that food and roof both of them were free of cost. Yeah.
After a long
Because-
journey to find the free food and free accommodation.
Yeah, free food and free accommodation. It was very good. So because hospitality was very honor, it was considered honor to give respect to their guests. So I mean this was part of ancient Silk Road. So this was the entrance, only entrance. Soon after getting dark, they used to close this gate from inner side. They never opened during the night time. So this village name is Ganish. If you have time, I shall tell you its different meanings. If you have no time, then we shall make it short. So with the high compound wall, they had made 14 watchtowers as well. So these are two small watchtowers. Over there, that one is the big one. So soon after getting dark, they used to close this door. And watchmen used to watch from this small holes during the whole night. So I shall show you the system. We used to close this door like this. So now I am using very light stick, while in the ancient times it was very thick and heavy. So now I can't handle I have a bypass operation of my heart.
Oh.
So that is why I'm handling very light one. So in this place here was a hole as well. They used to fix this thing like this. And from here they used to fix iron rod into that hole. And then this door was becoming locked. They never opened during the night time. Opening of this gate during the night time was considered treachery with whole village. So, in this village, we have 7 old mosques as well. On these mosques, they have done very beautiful wood carving. In this carving, there are different signs and symbols from different religions and different nations. If you are interested, we shall visit this mosque for 3 minutes,
Sure,
and I shall try
possible.
to show you some symbols.
If possible, I'm really interested.
So these mosques are, we can say, memorial mosques. So this is human nature from very beginning. People want to keep alive their name in society even after their death. For that purpose, in your big cities, people make any memorial school, college, or any hospital. But in the time of ignorance, our people had no idea about any educational institution or any health institution. So they thought we shall make a small mosque by our family name, so our name will remain forever. Because according to Islamic faith, when we make any mosque once, then we are not allowed to change it to any another thing. If we shall make once, then it will remain forever mosque. We can't change. That is why they thought coming generations will not change it to any another thing, and our name will remain forever. So when somebody started such a work, so other tribes said, oh, their name is remaining forever, then why not ours? Then all tribes started to make a small mosque by their family.
In a kind of competition between
like
families.
So anyway, they did very beautiful wood carving. In this carving there are different signs and symbols. from different religions and different nations. So I shall start from this corner. This is the sign of swastika. So this is a very sacred sign in Hinduism. Later Nazis had also used, after death of Hitler, this sign vanished from the flag of Germany.
Yeah.
So maybe you will ask why this sign was considered very respectable. Actually, this sign is considered the symbol of peace and prosperity. So why it was considered a symbol of peace and prosperity? Actually, this is a word written in Sanskrit language. So, and that word is name of Ganesh god. You know about Ganesh? The elephant god is called Ganesh.
I studied in history when I was younger, but I forgot about it.
So, the elephant is called Ganesh in Hinduism.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
The elephant. So that is why they consider this is name of Ganesh. This is Ganesh. So here are small two flowers. These flowers are sign of lotus flower. Lotus flower is considered very respectable and honorable in Hinduism and Buddhism, in both religions. According to Hindu faith, when this Ganesh was a young boy, he was a small child, he used to lay down on this flower. While according to Buddhist faith, Buddha was born on this flower. So that is why Hindus and Buddhists both have good respect for this lotus flower. So this round figure is not any flower. So this is a mathematical formula. This is your Italian formula, you know?
I'm trying to guess. Looks like
Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So Fibonacci was your Italian mathematician.
Yeah.
He is passed in 1202 AD. He invented this formula. This formula is still used in too many different things, especially in those people who are related with stock market. So they know very well. So even now, to measure the rise and fall of the market,
Yeah,
this
it's
formula
very
is
much
still
used.
used. Yeah.
Not only even in the botanic, in the trees, the way the branch of the trees are set is according to Fibonacci
Yeah.
formula.
In your camera, in your computer, everywhere
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
this
exactly.
formula.
That's right.
So here is a U-shaped sign. This is a Hindu sign. So Hindu religious people who are called sadhu. Sadhu people make this U-shaped sign on their forehead with white ink. About this sign, this kind of carvings, maybe you know about Zoroastrians,
Yes.
the fire worshippers.
Yeah.
So they make this kind of carvings at their fire temples.
Yes.
Because in this carving they have drawn the burning style of fire. These things show flames. These things show flames, while in the middle these things, if you look at the fire while burning, this kind of things used to occur inside the fire, in the flames. So they have shown the burning style of fire flames. So you feel bored?
No, absolutely. It's super interesting.
Some sunflowers, and these are sign of birds. If you have seen ducks when fly, so they fly in the line like this. So in the single line, they
Yeah.
make lines, and then they fly.
Oh,
So they have shown the flying style of ducks. So we shall go a little bit further and we shall talk again later.
Thank you very much.
525 BC, and it declined and finished in 8th century AD. So in this place, too many tribes, too many civilizations came over there. So, and it was culture melting pot of Pakistan, we can say, Gandhara. So this state, too many people came over there. For example, there Scythians, Parthians, what is called Alexander the Great from Central Asia, and Chinese, different people came over there, Iranians. So first time Iranians reached over there. So it is a culture melting pot. So a lot of different civilizations lived over there. So that is why some signs from East culture there is. So that is why I have learned these things from that Gandhara art. Yeah. So,
Really interesting.
don't go anywhere.
I see.
So then I couldn't deny them. So this was their living style. Their houses were like this. They used to make stone wall. On the stone wall they have put just simple mud plaster. This kind of walls are weather resistant because the cement gets cold during the winter and it gets warm, hot during the summer. But this thing doesn't affect. They used to make very short doors because at that time this region was very cold. Even now in the month of December and January, when it gets clear during the night time, temperature goes below minus 15 to 16. Well, now glaciers are met, they have retreated back, population is increased too much, while nowadays we have this global warming problem as well. Even then temperature goes below minus 15 to 16. If we shall think about 1,000 years ago, then
much colder.
Yeah, so these all glaciers were in more advance and population was very limited. In such a time temperature could be at least minus 25 to 30. If temperature would be minus 25 to 30, then these poor people had not enough clothing on body, so they were bare feet. In such a time survival was not easy. It was very difficult to survive. That is why they made short doors. Because if we shall open more area, then more coldness can be entered. Yeah. That is why they made short doors.
The surface is larger, so
they had to cross 3 doors like this to reach their residential room. So in the first entrance, they used to keep their cattle in this entrance because cattle are, they are warm. So that coldness which was entering through the door, it was becoming normal because of the heat of cattle, and for the people temperature was remaining normal.
Beautiful. Wow, how nice.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 are also mosques. So divide in different directions. So the art on this mosque is mostly called Ionian art. Maybe you know about Ionians. When the Alexander the Great entered into subcontinent, he had 95,000 troops, and 35,000 of them were ladies as well, ladies warriors. So these 95,000 people mostly belong to 3 big tribes of Greece, and one of them tribes was called Ionian. In Greek language, Ion means bull, cow bull. Not only at that time, even now bull is considered the symbol of strength and power. That is why they consider themselves the strongest nation of the world, and it was a pride for them. So that is why wherever they go, they used to make bull horns. So Ion means bull, and Ionian means the tribe of bull or nation of bull.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So on this crown of Alexander the Great, because the crown of Alexander was like a sunflower with 9 leaves. It had 9 leaves. So that is why sunflower is considered the symbol of the crown of Mother. So this village was in good condition till 1856. In 1856, in Hunza river there was a very big flood. So maybe you have visited Atabad Lake.
No, we go tomorrow. Yeah.
You will go tomorrow. So about 2 or 2.5 kilometers before Atabad Lake, there was a big landslide from southern side of the river. So the landslide from top of the mountain came down and stuck the river for a long time. And it became a huge lake, about 40 to 45 kilometers long lake. So when river water filled inside and started become overflow, the water slided so flat very quickly, and we can say the dam broke and the huge flood came over here suddenly. On that side of the river, there is a mountain range like this. When that flood water touched that mountain range, it reflected the flow mostly toward this side. And that water started erosion under this village. In the result of that erosion, about 80% of this village was fallen down. So later on in 1974, our Pakistan army reached over here. So, and they made road from the back side of this village. So now there is KKH road. And they demolished about 50 to 60 old houses and they made road. Second flood was our army. Yeah, it was also disaster.
Absolutely, it is. It was.
Yeah. So everywhere in the world, military people know destruction, how to distract. They don't know construction.
No, that's right. That's right. We are made for that probably, so we are doing our job. We could answer like that. We are just doing our job.
Yeah. So because military is taught their thing. So they are appointed for that, and they have taught them destruction. You know? So in humanity, your neighbor is very respected, but in military language, neighbor is called enemy. Yeah,
that's
neighbor
right.
is called enemy. Anyway, so they demolished about 50 to 60 old houses.
Imagine how it could have been this place, right?
Yeah.
Could have been like a top attraction in Pakistan, probably.
Yeah. So, as I told you, there were around about 300 houses before 1856. So, whatever is remaining now, nowadays we have only 30 to 35 old houses, 7 these mosques, 3 watchtowers, and that entrance gate is still in original shape. To see these things, you can imagine about the lifestyle and life standard of these people who lived about 1,000 years ago in this region. What kind of problems they had, what kind of challenges they had, and how they tried to overcome these problems. After visit of this village, we can understand that these people had 2 big challenges. The first challenge was the winter season, cold weather. How we shall make safe ourselves from the cold weather, and second was foreign invasions. How we shall defend ourselves from these invasions. So they had these 2 big problems. So we shall go through the street. You can see
Sure.
further. There is a watchtower. You can have a look at it. So this is a triple-story watchtower. In lower 2 stories, there is nothing, there is only ladder to reach up to 3rd floor. Their operational system was in the 3rd floor. You can see in the middle, they have made 2 small windows. On both
Yeah.
sides of these windows, they have made two small triangle holes. triangle holes to watch enemies. They could see their enemies, and while enemies couldn't see them while they were looking from these small triangle holes.
Okay.
So when enemies were reaching in the effective range of their arrows, then they opened those small windows. From there, they could shoot arrows on their enemies.
How smart.
Yeah. So this system was on each side. Yeah, all four sides. This was the entrance of this watchtower. They made this entrance a little bit difficult because they thought in case if enemies will reach over here and they will try to get in, no any enemy should enter easily inside.
Running, let's say.
Yeah. So if somebody will try to get in, he will put one leg over here, both heads will come over here. He will take his head first inside and then legs. In such a time there will be one person inside, then he could chop their heads very easily. So for that purpose they had made this entrance a little bit difficult. And above that they made a bigger door. From that door, in case if enemies would reach over here, they could throw boiling oil, they could throw fire, they could throw stones. So for that kind of operations, they made that door a little bit bigger, and they made this one a little bit small and difficult, that no enemy should enter inside. Before arrival of British, here was compound, you know. So from here, there was compound over here. So when British reached here, those all independent states who were quarreling among each other, these all independent states became under British control and they became British citizens. Then after this quarreling became finished automatically, and then later, and they finished this part of compound and they made shortcut over here. So when here was compound, then this door was entrance for this house.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Come stai? Bene?
Come stai? Bene?
Now we are walking on that ancient Silk route. On our right side, before about 20-25 years ago, on our right side here was no any house. Here are fields with crops. Now people have constructed houses, and this historic ancient Silk route looks very narrow street. The same system you can see from here as well.
Oh yeah, in all the four corners.
Yeah.
No problem, you can tell me about it. Yeah.
So, Ganish, so geographically Hunza is divided into three parts: Upper Hunza, Central Hunza and Lower Hunza.
Okay.
In Upper Hunza, they speak Wakhi language, which is spoken Wakhan corridor of Afghanistan region, and in the back side in Tajikistan as well. We can say Tajik language as well. So in Central Hunza, we speak Brushaski language, Brushaski. So and in Lower Hunza, they speak Shina. In Brushaski language, Ganish means the gold. Because even now on the bank of the river, people used to collect gold from the sand. That is why they called it gold collecting place. So secondly, maybe it is possible that then this name became from two words, Gan and Nash. Gan means where, Nash means where they get together. The place where too many paths or too many ways get together. It means junction. The third meaning is, maybe this came from another two words, Gan dish. Gan means, as I mentioned, way, and dish means place. The place which is situated on a way. So under your feet, this path was a part of ancient Silk Route. So when people used to travel from China to India by foot, at that time this path was used. So this village was situated on this historic way, ancient Silk Route. That is why maybe they called it the place or the village which is situated on this Silk Route way. So,
Sorry, before you were mentioning about three different languages in the valley.
yeah,
So if you knew a language, or if you know a language, can you understand the other two, or they are completely different in a way that's they are like, I don't know, German and Spanish, just to say. I don't know if you know German and Spanish to say.
yeah. So like German and Italian.
Or Italian, they are totally different. Quite different. Yeah.
Yeah. So these languages are quite different because this Shina language is one of this Indo-Aryan languages branch. Yeah. So while this Wakhi language is a little bit similar to Persian, because in Tajikistan there is Persian is also spoken, and this language
Farsi, yeah,
Farsi and this Wakhi language. So that is why this is a little bit similar with Persian. While this Brushaski language, which is spoken in central Hunza, this is quite different. So this Brushaski language is one of most ancient languages of subcontinent. Because if you have time, I shall tell you about a little bit history of this language. So how this language reached over here. So when there was nobody in subcontinent, first time 3 tribes came and they settled in Harappa and Mohenjo-daro valleys. Mohenjo-daro is in Sindh province, and Harappa is in Punjab province. So it is about 200 kilometers south of Lahore. So there is a place named Sahiwal. It is nearby Sahiwal. So these 3 tribes came and they settled in that place. One of them tribe was called, I'm talking about 3500 BC. In 3500 BC, 3 tribes came over there and they settled over there. One of them tribe was Proto-Austrite. They came from Palestine, they were Arabs. Another tribe came from, another tribe was called Austric. These Austric people came from this Mediterranean belt. So maybe they were from Greece, or maybe they were from what is called Turkey. Because on that side of Mediterranean Sea there is Greece, on this side there is Turkey. If they were from Greece, so even then maybe they have crossed the Mediterranean Sea, they reached Turkey. From Turkey, so on dry land, they reached subcontinent. So this Austric race was from Mediterranean belt. So the third one was Negrite. You know, Negroes from Africa. Yeah. So these 3 tribes reached over there and they settled in that place, and they lived for 500 years. So this Busho people and Brushaski language belongs to Austric race. Yeah. they are not Aryans. They are very older than Aryans. So they lived together for 500 years. In 3000 BC, 500 years later, in 3000 BC, Dravidians invaded over there. Dravidians were from Babylonic civilization. They came from Iraq. So they invaded over there. When they invaded, a small group of these ostrich people flew towards the north, and they reached Kashmir. So, and they settled over there. So till arrival of Aryans, they lived over there. So in 1200 BC, between 1200 and 1500 BC, Aryans came over there. When Aryans reached, so the same situation happened with Aryans as with Americans in Afghanistan. So Americans had more power, so they can capture Afghanistan, but Afghanis, they didn't allow them to stay long. So they did any suicide attack over here, another suicide attack over there. So they compelled Americans to run away. Same situation happened with the Aryans as well. So, and most of Aryans were pushed towards Ganga and Jamna, toward India. And another small group came towards north. And when they reached Kashmir, they saw there is a small group so living over there. So these Aryans also invaded on that group. So in wars, some people used to die, some people used to run away, and some people, when they remain, they used to mingle with the invaders. Yeah. So then from Kashmir, these people flew towards this Gilgit-Baltistan, so through Astor Valley. And they reached Gilgit and they settled over there. And they kept the name of Gilgit Giri Girat. Giri Girat. Giri means ibexes, Giratas means dancing. The place where ibexes dance. So when there is no any human, wildlife used to be very happy, So when there was nobody, then ibexes were very happy. So they were living over there. That is why they called the dancing place or playing place of ibexes. Yeah. So even now, mostly names of villages of Gilgit are in Brushasky language. For example, while there is bus stand, so nearby the bus stand, that village is called Jutyal. If we shall call Jutyal, Jut means small, Yal means shadow. If we shall pronounce Jutyal, Jut means grassy land, Yal means shade. The grassy land with shade. So another village name is called Barmas. Bar means valley, Mos means flood, the floody valley. So where mostly flood used to come over there. So and another village is called Basin. Basi means one garden, Basin a lot of gardens. So the place where there are a lot of gardens. So still these the names of villages are still in Brushasky language. So because first time these Brush people reached over there and they settled there. And for a long time they lived over there, but after some time any disease came over there. So then these people flew towards in two directions. So when they saw, this disease is very what is called,
Was it Black Death?
yeah, maybe what was that disease, but it was very dangerous disease. So they flew towards in two directions. One towards north, towards west, and they reached Yasin Valley. And another group came towards Hunza and Nagar, and they settled over here. So that is why this Burusha skill language is one of ancient languages of
Word, actually.
this subcontinent. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Thank you.
we speak in this central Hunza, this Burusha skill language.
Sorry.
So that is why I give you different meanings. So the